Today we're going to talk about polynomial division. And in order to do that, we need to remember multiplication a little bit. So let's practice multiplying using the area model. That means length times width. So here we have a 2 by 2 times a 2 by 2. So we are going to make an area model with a length and a width that both have two spaces. So 3x minus 4 and x plus 1. It doesn't matter which side you put things on as long as you get both. Now in each blank, we're going to put the product. So here we're going to do 3x times x, which gives us 3x squared. Then we're going to do negative 4 times x, which gives us negative 4x. Then we'll move to the bottom row. We'll do 1 times 3x, which is 3x. And then finally, negative 4. If we have any like terms, we need to be on the lookout for them. So here are some like terms, and we can combine those together, and our final answer is going to be 3x squared minus x minus 4. This one's a little bigger. We've got a 3 by 2. So when you make your area model, make sure you make the length and width 3 and 2. It doesn't matter if you make yours tall and skinny or short and fat like mine, either way. X squared plus x minus 1. 3x plus 2, and then we're going to find all the products in the middle. So 3 times an understood 1 right here is 3, and then x times x squared, how many x's is that in total? 3 x's. Remember, when you multiply, you add the exponents. Here we're going to have 2 times x squared is 2x squared. Then we'll go to the next column, 3, and then an x and an x, we add the exponents, that's x squared. 2 times x gives us 2x. Here, 3x times negative 1, that's a negative 3x. And 2 times negative 1, that's negative 2. So again, we look for some like terms. A lot of times, most of the time, they live on the same diagonal. So our final answer is going to be 3x cubed plus 5x squared minus x minus 2. So here is a diagram that's a little bit different. We've got the answers here, and so we are going to fill in the blanks. But before we do, let's think. What multiplication problem could this represent? Well, this could represent, we don't know those blanks yet, but blank, 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 that's the top row, times the side, x plus 1. And that equals the insides. So our insides are 4x cubed. We can think about combining terms here, minus x squared, combining terms here, minus 2x, and plus 3. That's the multiplication problem we're looking at. We just combined our like terms when we thought about the answer, just like we did above. Alternatively, we've got division happening. We know our answer. Our final answer is 4x cubed minus x squared minus 2x plus 3, and that's being divided by x plus 1. And our answer is blank, blank, blank. So let's figure out what is that blank, blank, blank. Well, let's see. We've got an x here. We've got 4x cubed here. So what has to go in this blank? We need a 4. And then remember, we add the exponents. So if there's 1 here and we need 3 in total, we need x squared. And we can check and say, hey, does that work down here too? Yeah, it does. Let's try the next one. We need negative 5x squared. So we need a negative 5, and then we've got x to the first. We want to get x to the second, so we only need one more x there. Does that work down here? Yeah, it's looking good. And then the last one, we've got an x. We need a 3x, so we're going to put a plus 3 right here. And we did it. So in our blank, 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 we're going to have 4x squared minus 5x plus 3. That's the multiplication that was happening. Same thing with the division. When we divide by one side, we get the other side. 4x squared minus 5x plus 3. So what if we do this again, but instead of having the inside filled out, you fill it out yourself? So here, we know what goes on the inside. This whole thing is going to go on the inside. And we know one of our sides is x minus 1, so we're going to put that down here, x minus 1. And our job is to figure out what is this missing side length. That's going to be our goal today. So let's start with our first term. We know that this first term is always going to go in this top left box. That's because when we did the previous problems, our first term also came from that top left box, right here, right here, right here. Our first term always goes in that top left box. Oh, I circled the wrong thing. Should be right here. So we're going to put our first term in that top left box. Now we're going to think about what goes in the blank. So that will be a true statement. We have an x here, so what needs to go up top to make this true? X times something gives us x squared. So that something is x. When we do this, it allows us to automatically fill in what's below. To get what's below, we're going to do -1 times x, which is -x. Okay. Let's revisit the fact that this top part is what needs to go inside. Right now, we have -x inside, but our goal is to have a -3x inside. Or sorry, a +3x inside. I had that covered up. What can we put in this other box right here so that it matches the original problem? -x and then something is going to match the original problem. If we put a 4x right here, it matches the original problem. Remember up here when we combined like terms, we looked at our diagonals? Our diagonals need to match the original problem. So we're going to do the same thing down here. Our diagonals match the original problem. So we're done with that part. And now we can figure out what goes above and below. So above, x times something gives us 4x. That something is 4, so +4. And then below, 4 times -1 gives us -4. So now let's check again. We want things to match. Does this match our original? Yes. So now we are done. If we look, we've got our length and our width. And then the inside, the area of our box, matches the insides that we wanted it to. So our answer is x + 4. That's going to be our answer to this problem. We're dividing. Here, this one's a little bit bigger, but that's okay. We can handle it. We're dividing by x + 6. We want this to go on the inside, and we're going to figure out what goes along the top to make this a correct multiplication problem. So let's start with putting this x cubed in the top left. That's always going to start us off. Now we can fill in what goes above and below. So we have x to the first here. We need 3 in total, so we're going to put x squared on top. Then we can fill in down below. That's going to give us 6x squared. Now remember, our goal is for the inside of our box to match what we started with. Right now we've got 6x squared. We're going to put something right here so that it will match our original. What do we need to put in the empty spot to get things to add to what we need? Well, we already have 6, so we need 7x more, or x squared more, to get us to 13x squared. Now we can do above and below again. So x to the first, we need 7x squared, so we're going to put plus 7x here. And now things will multiply to give us 7x squared. What goes in the box below? 6 times 7 is 42. And then don't forget that x. And now we're going to do it again. Remember, we want things to match. We have a 42x here. We need to put something here. And we need to make sure that they add up to 39. So what's going to go in that blank? Minus 3x. And now they add up to 39x. Then we can go above and below again. So above, minus 3. Below, minus 18. And look at that. That matches. So our box matches what we started with. So we're happy. And our goal was to figure out what the missing side of our area model was. So our answer is x squared plus 7x minus 3. Let's keep moving. We're going to do the same process again. This guy is going to go in the front. Don't forget, whatever you're dividing by goes on the side. And our goal is to figure out what's this missing side here. So let's start with what we need to go in this first spot. We've got an x, it's understood to be the first, and we need to get to x cubed, so we're going to put x squared. This allows us to fill in the bottom, 2x squared, and now we can think about making our box match our original problem. We want these spots to add up to 7x squared. We have a 2x squared, so what we need is a 5x squared. And now our box matches what we want to be on the inside. Then we're going to go above and below again. We're going to put plus 5x, and then below we can put 10x. Now we're going to do the same thing. We have a 10x here, and we need something to go here, so they add up to 14x. So that thing is going to be 4x. Then we're going to go above and below again. So above, we're going to multiply by a positive 4, and below, we're going to have 8. Now, something's a little different here because in the last two problems, this last answer matched. That's okay. We can still adjust. We need to put something here to help us get to 3. What is that thing? How do we get to 3? We're going to subtract 5. Now, how do we put this on the end of our expression? It doesn't go like this because we already got our single term. We've already got that plus 4. So here's what we're going to do. Remember what we were dividing by in the very first place? We've been trying to divide by x plus 2 from the very beginning. So when you have a remainder, you take that remainder and you divide it by what you've been trying to divide by this whole time. So that's how we write a remainder. Let's write another one. We put this up in the top left, x cubed. Now we're going to go, oh, we forgot to write what's on the side. We're dividing by x minus 5. So we're going to go above and below. So here there's an understood 1, so we need x squared. And then here we're going to have negative 5x squared. Now remember, we want these terms to match. We have a negative 5x squared, but we need to get to negative 10x squared. So we're going to put another negative 5x squared here. Then we think about what we need to go on top. We need a negative 5, and then we've got an x, so we need another x to get to x squared. Now we can fill in what's below. Negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25x. And we're going to do it again. We have 25x, and we need something to go here so that we can have the 20x we need inside. So we're going to subtract 5x because then those will combine to 20x. Then we're going to go above, minus 5. We're going to go below, plus 25. And again, we want our things to match. So we have 25 on the board, and we need to put something here so we can get to 26. What is that something? Plus 1. So that's our remainder. So we're going to put plus 1, and then since we've been trying to divide by x minus 5 the whole time, we're going to put it over x minus 5. All right, we're going to do 2 more examples, and then we'll be done. Sometimes you'll be missing a term, and when that happens, you'll need to rewrite the problem with placeholder zeros. Or you can write that as zeros. Okay, here's an example. If we look at our exponents, in the previous problems, we've been able to count down. So if you look at all of these problems, we've been able to count down. So here we were able to count down 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. But here there's a problem. It goes 4, 2, 1, 0. We are missing a term. Specifically, we're missing our cubic term. So what we're going to do is we're going to rewrite this problem. X to the 4th plus. And now we're going to add a placeholder 0 so we can put a cubic term in there. If we don't do this, things are going to get really messy down here when we're trying to divide. So plus 0x cubed plus x squared plus 3x minus 4 divided by x minus 2. Okay, let's do the problem. we're going to start by putting an x minus 2 on the side. And then we always start by putting our first term in the top left. So we're going to figure out what goes above. Here we have an understood 1, so we're going to put an x cubed up here. And then that tells us we have a negative 2x cubed down here. So here's why we needed that placeholder. This is a cubic term. If you tried to look at this squared term up here, that would be confusing. But if you look at your placeholder term instead, you can say, oh, I can put something in the blank right here that's going to get me to 0x cubed. Specifically, if you've got negative 2x cubed, you can put a positive 2x cubed in here. Now we can go above plus 2x squared, and we can go below minus 4x squared, and we can do it all again. We've gotten the negative 4x squared. We need to put something here, so together they add to 1x squared. That's an understood 1 right here. So we need to put 5x squared in the blank. Then we're going to go above plus 5x. We're going to go below minus 10x, and we're going to do it again. We've got a negative 10. We need something to go here, and our goal is for them to add to 3. So what needs to go there? A 13x. And we're going to do it again. Plus 13 minus 26. We're almost there. I need another color. I don't know. Let's do green. So we need something to go here so we can get to negative 4. So we're at negative 26. So we need to add positive 22. Because that'll make it equal negative 4. So our remainder is plus 22 over x minus 2. Because remember, that's what we've been trying to divide by this entire time. So here's one more to go. When you rewrite this guy, you actually need several placeholder zeros. Remember, you want to be able to count down 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So here, we're going to do x to the 4th plus 0x to the 3rd plus another one, 0x squared plus 16x plus 20 divided by x plus 2. Now we can count down with our exponents. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We're good to go. All right, let's put x plus 2 on the side. We always put our first term up here in the top left. And now we get to go to work. We go above, below, diagonal. Above, below, diagonal. That's going to be your routine every time. So here, this is an understood 1. So x times something gives us x to the 4th. That something is x cubed. Then we can fill in what goes below, 2x cubed. Now we've got 2x cubed, and we need something to go here, so they add to 0. How do we add something to 0? We use its opposite, so negative 2x cubed. Now we're going to go above, minus 2x squared, below, minus 4x squared. I wrote in the wrong color. It doesn't matter. So now we're going to put something here and here that add to 0. If we have negative 4, we're going to want to put a positive 4x squared. Then we're going to go above plus 4x. We're going to go below 8x. And we're going to do it again. We need something here and here that add to 16. We already have an 8, so we need another 8. Then we're going to go above plus 8. We're going to go below plus 16. And our goal is to have this and this add to 20. So what needs to go in your blank? Plus 4. So that's going to be our remainder, plus 4 over what you've been trying to divide by this whole time, which is that x plus 2. And that is how you divide polynomials.